Have you ever caught yourself thinking, I'll always be this way? It's just who I am. This part of my life will never change. Those aren't facts, they are stories. And the most dangerous ones are the ones we repeat often. We don't even realize that usually they are running the show. But your story isn't stuck, and neither are you. It's ready to evolve. Hi, my name is Cindy, and in this video, I'm going to help you understand how those subconscious narratives shape your brain and identity and how to begin shifting them today. Because your story is far from over. It's rewriting itself moment by moment. And when you become an active participant in that rewriting, your life doesn't just change, it realigns. So today you're going to learn three grounded, science backed, spiritually aligned steps to help you break free from the narratives that are holding you back so that you can reconnect to your deeper truth. But before we do so, please subscribe so that you don't miss the next video. Download your free guide, Unlocking Inner Wisdom. And be sure to sign up for the Empowered Human newsletter. Soulful clarity straight into your inbox. You'll find everything in the links of the description below. Are you ready to get started? Let's begin by understanding why stories run our lives. Before we can move into steps to move out of the stories we tell ourselves, we need to understand why these stories form. Because without awareness, it's easy to think that there's something wrong with you and that you just can't let it go. What you're actually dealing with is a pattern, not just a thought, not just a belief, a pattern that was built to keep you safe. Every story that you create has a root, and it's not always logical, but it's often coming from experience, from moments where your nervous system had to protect you before you had words for what was happening to you. Stories begin when the body interprets emotion as information, a look, a silence, a repeated experience that taught you that, for example, if I stay small, I'll be safe. If I care less, it'll hurt less. If I perform, I belong. What happened with these stories is that your mind took that emotional data and turned it into meaning. Meaning became belief, and belief became identity. That's actually how the brain works. It creates patterns to protect you. A belief repeated, especially under emotional duress, becomes physically encoded through neural pathways. This is neuroplasticity at work. Your system wiring itself around what feels familiar, not necessarily what's true. And it's not just painful stories that shape us. Every story, it could be an empowering story or it could be something very limited, but they're both rooted in emotional memory. Some stories lift you, others confine you, but all of them carry impact. Spiritually speaking, when the story is in alignment with your essence, you feel that you are in flow. On the other hand, when it's shaped by old wounds, you feel off center, like your soul is trying to communicate something and you're not really sure what it is and you can't hear it. By sharing this information with you, it's not about erasing your past, but it's about discerning what's true for you and evolving the rest. Now that we have this background, we can go into step number one, which is to identify the story. This step is more than naming a belief. You've heard me in past episodes say, name it. Yes, things are important to name, but when we're talking about stories, it's not just about naming a belief, it's about witnessing a version of you that was trying to survive if those stories are negative. That story, whatever it sounds like, came from someplace real. It may have helped you feel safer, more loved, or more in control. But over time, that story potentially became your identity. even if it no longer matches your truth or never did to begin with. In terms of neuroscience, the brain seeks patterns and safety more than truth. When a belief is repeated under emotional stress, it's encoded in the limbic system and reinforced through neural wiring. From a spiritual perspective, this isn't who you are, but it's who you had to become. And your soul doesn't want to erase that version of you, it wants you to evolve beyond it. So try this. Ask yourself, what's the sentence I hear in my mind when I feel triggered, stuck, or unseen? Write it down, not to shame it, but to see it with new eyes. And comment below. Let me know, what is the story that you've been carrying? Because by witnessing it, by naming it, by understanding it, we're going to be able to disrupt it. Because bringing it to the light is how your nervous system begins learning it's safe to tell the truth, meaning to let go of stories that really are not you. Now, let's move to step number 2, disrupting the pattern in the body. Let me say something very important here. It is not enough to see the story or name it if your body still believes it. You'll just keep on reliving it, even when your mind says otherwise. This is the moment that trips most people up because they become aware of the pattern, but they don't know how to shift it. Because you can't think out of a pattern you embodied emotionally. And here's what happens: your brain senses a trigger, searches for meaning based on the past. Survival mode kicks in, and then the nervous system reacts, and the story plays out. I always care more, people leave, etc., etc. Whatever the story is, it's not true, but it is familiar, and the brain is loyal to things that are familiar. Spiritually speaking, the more the body rehearses the past, the harder it becomes to hear your soul. The signal doesn't disappear, it's buried. Your soul gets buried under the noise. Try this presence reset when the story rises. Pause. Place your hand over your heart. Inhale for 4, exhale for 8. Repeat it 3 times to start to calm your nervous system and tell yourself, this is an old pattern. I hear it. I'm not choosing it today. What you're doing with the breathing and settling your system, you're creating safety so that when you say something to yourself, when you start to decide who you really are, you're doing it from a place where your body feels safe. And what you're doing is you're opening the channel between your body and your soul. And this is how you begin to interrupt the pattern. If this is resonating with you and you want to go deeper, check out the potential code. It's a self-paced journey to rewire your internal story. It's only $47 and it is filled with tools that go much deeper than this episode. You'll find everything in the links below. Now, what we want to do is move into step number 3, which is to rewrite from embodied truth. In step 1, able to understand what the story is. In step 2, we were able to disrupt it. In step 3, we want to rewrite it so that you can embody your truth. And this is how we start to create new patterns. If you don't choose a new narrative, your system will default back to the old one, not because it's true, but because it's easy and familiar. This is where neuroplasticity meets embodiment. When you speak a new belief while calm and grounded, which is what we worked on step number 2, the brain can encode it faster. Its presence plus voice equals transformation. Let me repeat that. Presence plus voice equals transformation. Spiritually, what's happening is we're moving into remembrance. It's not about becoming somebody new. We never want to become something performative. Let's try this. Sit quietly with your hand over your heart and ask yourself, what am I ready to remember about myself? Let it rise. Say it out loud. For example, it can be, I'm allowed to trust myself. I belong in the life I'm building. I no longer abandon my truth. Whatever it is, true, authentic, and specific to you. Those were examples. Focus on your truth, not mine, not your neighbor's, but yours. Do this again every day so that the more you do it, the less foreign it feels. Always interrupt the story. When you feel the old story coming, interrupt it, ground, calm your brain, and then tell yourself a new story, the story that's true to you. And as you do this over and over, because it does take time, what you'll start to do is rewrite your story and create new neural pathways in your brain that makes that story feel true to you. And thus it becomes you because it's always been you. Something I'd like to do to close our episodes is a short grounding meditation. If this is not your thing, skip to the next section. If it is, stay with me because we're going to do some quick breath work that will activate your parasympathetic nervous system, helping your brain shift from defense into integration. And spiritually, it'll help clear interference and open the space for inner knowing to rise. Scientifically backed, what we do is we inhale for 4 and we hold for 7 and then we exhale for 8. We're going to do that 3 times. Hand at your heart center, eyes closed, feet firmly planted on the ground. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 7. Inhale for 4. Hold for 7. Exhale for 8. One more time. Inhale for 4. Hold for 7. Exhale for 8. Final time. Inhale for 4. Hold for 7. Exhale for 8. Return to your natural breathing rhythm with your hand on your heart and your eyes closed, and allow yourself to feel calm and relaxed. Now imagine golden light entering through your crown, flowing down your spine into your chest, through your belly, your arms, and your legs. As this beautiful golden light is flowing into you, feel your body soften. Feel your spirit settle. And now say to yourself, I trust what's real. I trust what's rising. I trust the story that I choose. I trust the story of who I am. I trust what's real. I trust what's rising. Stay here as long as you like, and when you're ready, gently return. If this inspired something and you haven't subscribed, please do so. And if you haven't done it yet, grab your free guide, Unlocking Inner Wisdom, join the Empowered Human newsletter. Remember, I have other tools to help you, such as the potential code, Soul Clarity Sessions. And before you leave, comment below, what's the story I am ready to rewrite? This is how you come home to yourself, not by becoming somebody new, but by telling the truth to yourself and living by it, finally, fully from your own voice. Until next time, make it a great day.